What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 90-day Love in Paradise the Caribbean Way video. And this one is all about Amber's ridiculous attitude towards Daniel. But before we get into it, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel, every single person that is a member of Patreon, and every single person that is a subscriber. Now, with that being said, in this week's episode of Love in Paradise, Amber took it upon herself to be as rude and as disrespectful as ever when it comes to Daniel not even allowed to have a say in anything, purely because he knows that he cannot work because he is simply on a K1 visa. And with that being said, financially, of course, everything is always going to be on her own back. But hey, before we continue, let's get into the episode itself in particular, and let me show you exactly what went down. And of course, don't forget, if you become a member of the channel, you will get exclusive early access content. You dig what I'm saying? But nonetheless, let's get into it.
I'm really so excited.
I know. What's up, roomie?
Daniel's not the happiest person, but...
How was telling him? Like, be honest. Like, how did he really take
he's
it?
pissed.
I just want to be comfortable, but I want him to be comfortable
I know.
too.
And I think he will be. He just has to
Yeah.
come around to the idea. Inviting Ashton to move in is not to make Daniel more miserable or uncomfortable, but it financially is going to help us. And I'm...
Let's just process that she said that bringing Ashton to the house is probably going to make him even more miserable and more uncomfortable. So she already knows that he's not happy with the fact that he has to live in this house with her and her friend. Of course, he's happy to be there with his woman because why would he be with her, right? But the fact that she's already got a friend there has already made it a very uncomfortable situation anyway, which therefore can flow into that miserable type situation. But the fact is, though, Daniel isn't necessarily miserable because she already has a friend. He's more now miserable because, well, she's now invited another friend without even talking to him. But again, though, she's already identified that she knows he's already uncomfortable, but yet she wants to add more misery towards it. Nonetheless, let's continue.
Miserable or uncomfortable, but it financially is going to help us. And I'm helping my friend at the same time. So I don't regret telling Ashton he can move in with us. I just regret not including Daniel on that decision. Home sweet home?
This is my room. All right.
This will be your new living room.
Hey, Daniel.
Hi,
what's
baby.
up?
Hey, hi.
Hey, Rudy. How have you been?
Good.
Yeah?
Movie?
I didn't bring that much, so. A
That's good.
little bit.
Okay.
Yeah? When Daniel greeted me for the first time, I thought it was really awkward. I had no clue what I was walking into. It was very uncomfortable. I'm trying not to think about it too much yet because it is day one, but I don't feel the most optimistic right now about my choice to move here. I'm hoping it gets better, but right now I'm kind of regretting my decision.
Well,
Let's break down the rule. Let's break down the friends aspect of it. End of the day, of course, I'm here to break down Amber's. But let's also talk about the friend. I've said this before and I've said it again. A good friend would not want to move into a house knowing that the other partner is uncomfortable, because a good friend would not want to cause a strain on their friend's relationship. So the matter of the fact is, though, him coming in and talking about how, oh, it was a bit awkward. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. Listen, shut up and leave. Okay, because really and truly, you have no care but to come in here and make things a whole lot more worse for a relationship that he already knows is on the brinks, purely because Daniel's already made it abundantly clear that he's not happy with the first roommate, which her friend knows as well as her. So both of them are aware of the situation, but both are choosing to neglect it. So if you ask me, there is a poor friendship in terms of like, you know what, let me go elsewhere because I don't want to make things worse for what you're already going on, as I know it's already a bit tough for you. But at the same time though, Amber should be like, listen, you know what, though, I can't really have you coming in because I've already got my other friend coming in here, and at this moment in time, it's not very, it's already hard as it is anyway. But nonetheless, though, all of those things are completely neglected by Ashton and by Amber. But hey, makes sense why they're friends, right? Because they're both very good at ignoring and neglecting and disrespecting their partners. Because let's not forget, Ashton is moving in because him and his partner have now split up. I wonder why. Let's continue.
Popping bottles. I know we don't have the fanciest wine glasses, but it'll do.
Cheers
To new roommates.
to roomies.
Cheers. Well, now you're gonna live here with us. You have to, clean it up and pick all your stuff. Like,
Always, yeah.
you lay around the house.
Daniel, you don't even clean up after yourself.
So I do.
Okay.
You won't even know I'm here in a lot of ways.
I don't wanna making party here. Bringing strange people to the house.
I'm not gonna have parties all the time, people over all the time, but if I do, I'm not gonna run it past you.
No,
Why
I
would
think
run it
he's
past
just
you?
saying he feels like he's the man of the house and he wants to know
I'm
who's
kind of the
coming.
man of the house. What do you mean?
No, I know
I'm
that's
not
what I'm
fighting
saying,
for the
but you
title of
also,
man of the
you also
house.
have to understand he's paying rent. So if he wants to bring somebody back, he can.
And then boom, bam. Not even looking to take the side of a man. Now let's bear this in mind. Let's bear this in mind. Earlier on in this scene here, at the very beginning of me playing the video, she said that, I quote, I don't regret inviting Ashton, but I regret not having a conversation with Daniel. Not word for word, but that's what she said, right? It's interesting because after she told Daniel, did they then have a conversation about rules, about, what Ashton can and cannot do? Forget about the fact that he's paying. That's irrelevant, because the matter of the fact is, if you know your man is already miserable and is already uncomfortable, you've got to try and find a way to make things come in some kind of way. Now, the matter of the fact is, she's already gone out of her way to make him even more comfortable by adding another friend anyway. So that's neglect number one. But can we maybe compromise now the deed has been done? Let's see if we can compromise. The compromise comes in the conversation. Okay, so now your friend's coming in, Ashton. I just want to say that, I'm not going to be comfortable if he decides to bring strangers to the house. I'm not going to be comfortable if he does certain things, okay? So where can we go from here? At least allow me to have some sort of leeway, something that shows me that you respect me, something that shows me that me coming here to marry you and be with you isn't, going to be one of the biggest regrets of my life. But no. Obviously, that conversation wasn't had. And now, obviously, he's bringing forward, rightly so. Instead of her saying, you know what, we'll talk about it later privately and then we'll come back to Ashton, she's more like, I'm going to defend Ashton, my friend, over you, my husband. Excuse me, Amber. I don't know who named you Amber, but boy, you might as well be called Karen at this stage. Or Becky, whichever name you want to go with, you know what I mean? No offense to the Karens or Beckys out there. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
His approval.
Amber taking Ashton's side made me feel angry, made me feel less important. Husband should be like this and best friend should be like this. But it's different, like best friend here and husband here.
I don't understand why you're so upset.
I don't choose the situation, that's thanks to her. She playing this like 2 months ago. But she don't tell me nothing until a week ago. I want to be the most important person in my wife's life. It's fine, I'm gonna just go to the room. When I say my room,
So let's break this down. So because Daniel has come from Costa Rica to marry her, so now he's on a K1 visa, which also means that he's unable to work at this moment in time because of a K1 visa. Amber knows this. Amber knows exactly the responsibility that she took on by marrying him and bringing him to the States, knowing that she's going to have to be the financial person for that moment in time. Now let's go back a step. In the first episode that we met this couple, she made it clear that she's used the money that she had saved up to buy a house, to get the mortgage that they're in now. And also because of that, it has now obviously created some sort of financial challenge for herself. So therefore, she decided to invite one of her female friends to come and stay with them. Okay, that's already happened. It is what it is. If you need help, I understand. But let me ask a question here. Who goes and gets a mortgage on a 3-bed? Because I'm under the influence that this is definitely a 3-bed house, knowing that you're probably going to struggle to financially actually afford it for God knows how long, because it can take up to 6 to 12, God knows how many years or how many months until you can get that green card anyway. But she's done these things, you see. So therefore, she's put herself in this predicament. And then because now she's put herself in a predicament of buying a house that clearly she cannot afford by herself, she wants to bring in friends and then make Daniel feel like absolute poop every time he wants to have a say, every time he wants to breathe about anything that involves the house. First and foremost, Daniel asked about, can I build Keyword, can I build another bathroom so we don't have to keep sharing the same one? So that means he's already bringing something to the table, that he has the ability to build things. He's not asking, I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously that comes with fees, but what I'm trying to say is that this is a guy that knows his way around a house and he knows how to, basically he's a repairman. She doesn't even have to worry about that because he's a handyman. At least he's bringing that to the table. But instead of appreciating his handy skills and appreciate the fact that he's eager to get work once he can get work, she'd rather sit there and slam him every single time he wants to have a say about the house, saying that, yeah, but you don't pay no bills. My friend's gonna stay here and you have no say because you don't pay no bills. My other friend's gonna stay here because you don't pay no bills, and those two friends of mine are paying bills, which is why they are above you. Imagine that. Imagine your own wife or even your own husband, your own partner that you're married to, telling you that you don't mean absolutely nada because you don't work, knowing that you can't work, but because her friends work, that means she has, that means all of her friends that work, that she wants to live in that house, will always have an opinion that matters over his. Why marry someone if that's how you're going to view them? Why bring someone from a different country if that's how you're going to view them? At the end of the day, you made your bed, you lay in it, and you take responsibility. You then don't make someone feel like absolute garbage. Because as far as I'm concerned, the conversation would be way much more different if we felt like he was just there to use the green card per se, or if he was there to not work at all. Because look at it this way. We have seen people like Sinjin come along, talk about how he wants to be an entrepreneur. The guy that had no idea what to do with himself. But hey, guess what though? At least he was allowed to have a say, right? We got Mohammed from the current season with Eve. I don't know what that guy does apart from go to the gym, look after her kid, which to be fair is something, but doesn't really, but also has the ability to still have his opinion. Okay, he has an opinion there to be given. Then we're looking at other people in the past. We're looking at the Larissas, looking at so many different customers that we've seen go to the States who have nothing to bring to the table financially at that moment in time. And some of them we can happily say that they were there purely because they were looking at a green card. But some of them we can say they were there because they were impatient until they can work. For example, Lizzie and Andre. Obviously, we knew he couldn't work, but now he can. So the fact is, why is Daniel getting this level of, why is he getting this level of energy? As if he's this bad person, as if he's the first person ever to fly over. The way Amber's moving is absolutely mad. And Amber needs to, Daniel needs to pick up and go. He needs to go to Costa Rica. But to be fair, someone did say in yesterday's video that I would never say this, but I'm going to say this. And I remember where they said Zumba specifically said, I wouldn't normally say this and I'll never say this, but Daniel, wait until you get a green card and then up and leave her ass. I mean, listen, end of the day, sometimes people get evil thoughts because of how somebody's treating somebody else. And I really don't blame the situation. But nonetheless, though, I would love to hear your opinions, your thoughts, okay? But don't forget, though, ladies and gentlemen, before you disappear, don't forget that you can become a member of Patreon so you can get extra content. Extra unrestricted content that we can't even put on YouTube for copyright reasons and other reasons. For example, right now we have got Married at First Sight that we are covering. Come over and enjoy it. Watch the whole shebang with me and everybody there. Teen Mom UK too. Come on, guys. Don't mess about. Link is down below with Patreon. But anyway, with that being said, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the comment section. Peace.